is Chantal Eldridge, and I am running for the 331st District Court. I have been a successful trial attorney for over 28 years. I have represented indigent defendants for over 20 years. I have been on the mental health docket since their inception for over a decade, and for over a year now I've been working with the Phoenix Court program, a diversion program that helps those with a history of prostitution. We gain them access to mental health services, housing, substance abuse treatment, and job employment opportunities. The reason that I work on these diversion programs and why I've worked on the felony mental health dockets is because I believe in criminal justice reform. I've advocated for criminal justice reform basically my entire career. I believe in helping people that come through the criminal justice system. And as a criminal defense attorney, I know the issues that drive people through the criminal justice system. Those include mental health issues, substance abuse issues, housing and desperation, immaturity, youthful immaturity, and poor judgment. These are issues that we can address within the criminal justice system, and we should address them in the criminal justice system. And the reason why all of you should be interested in criminal justice reform is because that is what makes our community safer. Helping people, giving them opportunities to be rehabilitated, to divert their issues from having a felony conviction on their record so they can get housing and employment, giving them opportunities to provide for themselves and their families, lessen the chance that they will re-offend. That makes our community safer. Rehabilitation also costs less than incarceration, which means that it lessens the taxpayer burden for the criminal justice system. But most importantly, it's the right thing to do for the defendants, for their families. Now, when I talk about criminal justice reform, and I talk about it a lot because I truly believe in it, it's something that I'm advocating for in this election. Judge Crane has been on the bench a long time, and he did institute programs when he was a county court judge. But I'm running for this position now because the jail statistics show that people are in jail on average longer in the 331st District Court than in any other court in Travis County. Why that matters is because when people stay in jail longer, it disrupts their ability to maintain their housing, it disrupts their employment, it disrupts their family relationships. Now, if you have a nonviolent offender that sits in jail accused of an offense and not necessarily even guilty of that offense, but when they get out of jail and they've lost their housing and they've lost their employment, they're actually at a worse position than they were when they were actually accused of the offense. That means that we are increasing the likelihood that they will offend, and that goes against criminal justice reform. I would like to expand the parameters for personal bonds within the pretrial release services. Right now, if you do not have a permanent address, you are not eligible for a personal bond. Now, the old way of thinking is that someone who didn't have a permanent address, it meant that they were irresponsible, that they wouldn't come back to court. But now we have a greater and greater population of people who are poor and homeless, including families with children. So we can't think the way that we used to think, and that is that someone who doesn't have a permanent address is irresponsible. Now we have to expand that so that those people can get out on a personal bond, they can seek employment, they can continue to provide for their families. In addition, the 331st District Court for the last 2 terms has not implemented or participated in any progressive program. Judge Crane talks about the felony mental health docket, but I am on the felony mental health docket panel. I work that docket every single day. He has not touched that docket since it was implemented in the county courts. I believe that criminal justice reform is something that a judge must actively seek. I do not believe that being a judge, being an incumbent is an entitlement. I believe it is a public trust that must be earned. Now, I believe the choice in this race is simple. Do you want complacency or do you want progress? Do you want someone that's going to work for you for criminal justice reform, or do you want somebody that's going to continue on the same course for the last 2 terms? I am asking you to vote for me for the 331st District Court because I am offering you real progress. When all of you say that you want criminal justice reform, well, I'm offering it to you, but you have to make that choice. I'm asking for your vote during the upcoming election. I also have signs and push cards outside if you'd like. Thank you.